Son, what effects do you believe or that you feel that domestic violence can have on children?
So the emotions it has on me, that first emotion is scary because because they can probably harm each other by their words, a weapon, or their hands by might not know it. And the second emotion is scary because it will look like they'll love each other. So, and it would it would break up the family and harm the family.
Correct. That is so correct. It's surprising that you even thought like that because most family don't think about the effects that it has on the children as far as the person who's actually doing the abusing and even the victim that's going through it. I'm glad to know that you feel that way. I'm glad to know how you are thinking in that situation if something like that was to occur. So, you guys, domestic violence is very dangerous. It affects so many people in the community. It harms family, it breaks up lives, it destroys people. One of the things that you guys probably don't even understand or even know about is that it could be going on in the next house right next door to you all the time. It can happen so often than we even can imagine. Or even you yourself may be going through something. I can relate. I came out of a domestic violence situation. I was married to a guy who was very abusive. It started off very mild. At least that's what I thought. And I don't think abuse is mild, period. But when I was in it, I didn't think of it as a big deal. I looked at it as, well, as long as he's not hitting me, then I'm okay. But his words was like knives stabbing me in my side, in my stomach, in my back, anywhere it could go. That's how I felt with those words. I was called every female dog. I was called a female dog so many times that he even tried to make it seem like it was okay to be called one when he tried to make up with me. He would say things like, hey, you my bee, you mines, that kind of stuff, like, you a bad bee, that kind of stuff. No, I didn't take it that way. And I never took it that way. And I still won't take it that way because it was coming from anger. It was coming out of him because he was angry with me for not doing the things that he wanted me to do. Now, I don't put labels on things, but there are some people who do. As I continue to explain my story to some people, they will say, oh, he was a narcissist. Well, a narcissist is not a diagnosis. It is a personality that people have. And I didn't know what a narcissist was. I had no idea what that was, but I was definitely dealing with the characteristics of one. And if I didn't understand then, I definitely understand now. What I have going on is that I decided that I wanted to create an event to help others who was in my situation or who is in my situation. Domestic violence don't only continue and then stop when you run away from it or you get out of it. It continues even through years from now if you have not dealt with the pain that came with it. Those type of emotions do follow you. You can have trigger moments. I know I do. I have trigger moments. I didn't realize that I had them until I was faced with it. And I realized, like, oh my goodness, I'm still feeling the effects of that. I didn't know that I was feeling the effect. I thought I was done and over with. It's been some years now. I've been out of that marriage for some years, but it's just still resonate when certain things happen. That's why I'm having this event October the 7th at 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. But we do need your help, you guys. What we need is donations. The donations will be going to our local community, Houston Area Women's Center, to help women just like me who need to get out of a situation but don't know how to get out of it. Now, I knew how to get out of mine because I had my mind made up that I wasn't going to allow somebody to sit there and continue to abuse me. But I was being abused for those amount of years that I stayed in it. It went from physical, it went from verbal, then it went to emotional because the verbal was hurting my feelings. Then it went from that to financial because he didn't want to work, he was making excuses to not work, and I had to deal with all the bills in the house. Oh my goodness, that was not easy, especially with someone who's an able body and they claim they love you. Then I went from that to finally, because I stayed in it too long, he got comfortable. That's when the physical started. He hit me. When he hit me for the first time, I was done. It took one time for me, but for some people, it takes way more than that. And I'm here to let you know that it's not going to get any better from here if you do not leave that situation. I know it's not easy to leave. I know it's not easy. I was one of the ones who felt like if I was going to leave, what it was going to cost me. Now, I had my son. No, my child is not his child. But I had my son, and I had to think about his life, what it was going to be like 15 years from now, what I was going to deal with. Would it hurt him? Will it make some type of effect that it will cause him to become an abuser too? Oh, I wasn't having that. That was my whole goal, that I was not going to allow that to happen. But I had to stop putting myself first and put my child first and realize that if I'm not going to get out of this situation for myself, then I need to at least do it for him. Now, some of you might not have children, and you might say, well, I don't have a kid to say that I'm going to put my kid first. Put yourself first. Think about what would happen to your family members if something was to happen to you. If you was to die because you got killed by because you got killed from your abuser, or he put you in the hospital, or whatever the case may be, think about how your family are going to be affected by that. It's going to hurt them. It's going to. And if you have anybody in your family that you love dearly, I mean like really dearly, like a grandmother or your father or your brothers or your mother or anyone, sibling, I don't care who they are, but if they love you dearly, they don't want to see you in a hospital. They don't want to see you hurt. So do whatever you can to get out of that. I have an event that's coming up. Like I said, it's called the Free Yourself Conference Gala. It is a gala. You do have to dress up and look good. If you don't have the money to go out and buy yourself a nice, beautiful dress, see if you can borrow someone's dress or something like that. I wish that I could just say you don't have to wear a dress. You don't have to wear a dress. You can wear some pants. If you can't afford it, that's one thing. But if you can, this is a gala. It's also a charity event. So for you out there who do not have the situation going on in your life dealing with domestic violence, I'm pretty sure you know somebody who does. I know you know somebody who is dealing with it. It's just they're suffering in silence. Everyone don't tell you that they're going through an abuse. I know I didn't say it. My friends didn't know I was going through that type of abuse until I was done. Until I said enough was enough was enough. Then I started sharing the videos of what was happening in my home because I had cameras. So I wanted people to know I wasn't lying, because I knew the type of person he was. He was such a manipulator that he made people think that he was just a great man, and people believed it. And because they believed it, it would have been hard for me to convince anyone who knew him that he was that type of person. So those videos showed exactly what he was doing and how he truly was behind closed doors or behind anything that someone's not watching. So I just knew, and you know, this event is coming up very soon. It's in the next 3 months from now, October the 7th. It's going to be here in Houston at the Holiday Inn Westway Park, and I'm inviting you guys to come out, come and share in any kind of information that you might have guest speakers that's already going to be speaking. They're going to share about their experience that they have had with domestic violence. Also, those who can help, like counselors. I have doctors, also have police officers, and everyone who's going to be attending that's going to be able to share in resources and how you can get the help that you need if you cannot get out on your own, what they can do to help you get out, and they can give you strategies on how to get out of a situation like that, and also how to help your neighbor, because sometimes we'll sit back and we'll see that a person is getting abused and we won't say anything. I think that's the worst kind of person. I'm not gonna lie to you. I really, really, really truly believe that that's the worst kind of person. Someone who sit and watch someone else getting abused and they don't say anything or do anything. Now, I don't expect for you to get out there and jump into somebody's business and put yourself in harm's way. That's a no-no. Do not do that. But there are ways to talk to people that you can actually help them without physically inserting yourself in it to get harmed. And that's what we're going to be doing as well. We're going to be educating you on how you could help someone without physically being involved in it, so you won't get harmed in that situation. And I can give you some examples. I can say, for instance, so as a flight attendant, yes, I am also a flight attendant too. I see people on the plane, and I have witnessed with my own eyes trafficking. And when I have saw things like that, I don't go and insert myself in their business and say, hey, do you need help? Is he doing such and such to you? Are they trafficking you? No, I don't do that. So we have a strategy that we use, and I'm not gonna tell y'all the strategy because I don't want the person who might be actually doing that seeing this video and then they be on to what we do. So I won't do that. I won't give that information out, but we do have our own way of being able to help that individual without inserting ourselves in that. And that's what we will teach you. So I'm imaging coaching. I have my own company. It's stress management, and I help anyone who needs to be helped with relieving your stress management at any level that you might be dealing with stress. I can help you in that area. That's where I will come in at, and I'll also be able to offer you some expertise on my experience on how I got out of domestic violence and why I was as strong as I was to get out of. Now you might say, you weren't that strong because you stayed in it too long. I knew what to do to get out of it and stay out of it. I know it wasn't an overnight process just like that, but I was building my way to get there. And sometimes that's what happens in an event where you have children. You can't just jump and run sometimes. Sometimes you have to think. A lot of the times you need to think, get your emotions out of it and think and come up with a strategy move that will keep you out of that situation and that will keep that person from chasing you and coming back at you, trying to hurt you. But that's a part of the event. If you show up, you'll be able to get those strategies. I will help you with that. And also you can sign up for my coaching and I can give you more information, more details on how to do whatever it is you need to do to get to a stress-free life, to be able to be happy in the things that you're doing with your life, and to be able to just enjoy life without someone beating you down. I'm here to lift you up, not to tear you down. I hope this helped. Please donate. We do need donations. We need donations. Like I said, I am going to donate 75% of the proceeds to our local community, the Houston Area Women's Center, to help them in their mission that they have with providing shelter for individuals, for women and their children, as well as food and clothing and all those things. But we can't do it without your help. You know, we can do only so much. But with your help, we can actually do more and go further. Please come out October the 7th, 2022. 23, I mean, this year. In a few months, it's coming, it's going to be going on. And like I said, it's not only a charity event, it's also a networking event. So if you have a business or anything you want to promote, you can promote your business at the gala. We're gonna party, it's gonna be music, we got DJ, it will be catered, there will be food, you know, you get to eat. And yes, you can bring your children. Make sure that you know that you are in charge of your children. They're not here to be babysitted by other people. You must keep your eyes on your kids at all times, okay? Your children are your responsibility. And just come on out, and if you need more information, call me. Imaging Coaching. It's going to be, the number is 832-429-7001. That's 832-429-7001. Thank you.